All right, welcome back to another episode of Basement Birds. I feel like that countdown, first of all, we need to have some sort of noise or something.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. That's a good call.
For those of you that don't know, we started using this new software to record, and there's a countdown before we start recording.
Yes.
And it's just silent. Like there's no,
Yeah.
little count that like beep, beep, beep. We need
It's-
some sort of like...
It's very daunting too. Like
Yep.
you see the countdown and it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And
Maybe that's just me, but I kind of feel that. But
Yeah, no, I agree.
I
But
definitely need to
hopefully,
work on the intro for the new show though, which is should come to a surprise to no one.
and based off of, what the previous intro was. But Basement
Correct.
Birds, we're
Yeah.
back for another episode
We're back.
of number 2, I guess. And so
Yeah.
we're excited. And
Yeah,
we've got a lot
absolutely.
to talk about this week, so we might as well jump right into it because
Yep.
I've had quite the busy week.
Oh boy, of course.
I told Rita about this a little bit, but we discussed on a previous episode of our previous show some craziness on the road. Now,
Yeah.
I like to think of myself as a pretty good driver. I like to think of myself as a very safe driver.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
to think of myself as someone who doesn't break the law or rules, ever. If the speed
Yeah.
limit says 15 miles an hour, I'm going 15 miles an hour. All right? And we're going to set the scene with that.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
Last week, I was going to help my cousin move into her new apartment. This is on Thursday evening after work. So I had to drive from work to her apartment. It took about an hour to get there.
Oh,
Throughout-
okay. Okay.
Throughout that whole time, I was on the phone with customer service, which we will talk about in our next segment.
I didn't know that detail. That's hilarious, though.
So an hour of phone time
Yeah.
with Costco is who I was talking
man.
to. Costco, and so I'm getting there, and I'm already fired up. I'm not
Yeah.
the happiest of people, I'm hungry. I'm scarfing down McDonald's while I'm driving. It's not good. So I get to her apartment. It's probably about a little after 6. It's about 6:30 is when I'm pulling into the apartment.
Okay.
And I turn off a busy road onto a side road that'll then lead me into the parking lot. So I turn off the road. This car comes and turns right behind me onto this side road. All right, great. I'm turning into this apartment. Turn signal goes on. I'm going into the parking lot. I go into the parking lot. Sorry. I
I'm
go
glad
into
we
the
got
parking
that
lot.
sound to confirm that you use your turn signal there.
So I go into the parking lot. He follows me, and this person, when I tell you, this person was. This is how close he was.
Yeah.
Right behind my bumper.
Yeah.
And I've never been to this apartment. Obviously, she's moving in here,
Yep.
and so me being the nice person that I am, I'm going to go help her. And so I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at the GPS. First of all, still on the phone with Costco. By the way, after this is
Gosh.
58 minutes of on the phone with Costco.
Lord.
And so this person's driving right behind me, and I'm looking at the phone, and I'm talking to Costco. I'm doing a whole bunch of stuff, trying to figure out where to go. So I'm
Yeah.
going 15 miles an hour,
Yeah.
which is an appropriate parking lot speed.
I would say a perfectly fine speed for an apartment complex parking lot, especially one that you haven't been to before.
Exactly.
Because those
And
things
so,
can be mazes sometimes, depending on how large the complex is.
well, right. And so, I don't know where I'm going. So I keep going, right? And then we get a couple, like probably, not even 15 more seconds into the parking lot.
Yeah.
And this guy's, going sideways, like, pulling out, like, to the left a little bit to shine his lights in my eyes off the mirror, like flashing his brights at me in the mirror. And I'm like,
Jeez.
okay, is this really happening right now? So I'm like,
Yeah.
you know what? I don't have time for this. So I just hit the brakes, right?
You
I
don't
just
have
stop.
time for this. So
No.
your solution is to brake check him.
Well, no. I'm not brake check. No. Reed, there's a difference between brake checking and just
Yeah?
stopping. Because
What is the difference?
brake checking, you hit the brakes and keep going. I just stopped. And so
That's fair.
at that point, you have two options. You can either also stop behind me, or you can pass,
or
and go.
he rear ends you,
or he rear ends me, and then he gets a ticket, and then I laugh at him. But so I stop in the middle of the parking lot. He pulls up next to me and stops, and he's looking at me. He's like, some of this, and I'm like, I don't want any of this. So I just go. Right.
The visual on that was top notch. That's
he
great.
He stops, and then I just go. Right. I'm not even messing with this.
You're not even thinking about it. Yeah.
No, and again, still on the phone with Costco, and trying not to cause any problems. I just want to get in the apartment and get this over with
and help move. Yep.
So, I start going. Here comes this guy. He's right behind me again. And now he pulls out and pulls up next to me while I'm driving. So now he's driving right next to me.
Yeah.
While I'm in the car.
In the parking lot.
Yes, still in the parking lot.
Oh, my word.
He's looking at me, trying to yell. His girlfriend's in the car, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm laser focused locked in.
On the road. Yep.
I'm looking forward, not even acknowledging what's happening next to me because I don't want any part of this. I didn't do anything wrong.
Don't entertain the idiot.
So I keep going. What does he do? He pulls out in front of me, and I'm like, all right, he's just going. Then he stops. He hits the brakes. Oh, God.
A little reverse psychology going on here. Okay.
Well, at first I thought he was going to reverse back into me, and then we're really going to have issues.
That would have been bold. No way he would have done that.
Well, I mean, at this point, I don't know what this guy's doing.
True.
Because
wouldn't put it past him, but.
No. And so he stops. What do? I'm like, oh, God, here we go.
You rear end.
And I thought he was just brake checking me, right? I thought he was going to stop, keep going. But he hits the brakes. And then I see his reverse lights go on, and he goes into park. Like he's going to want to get out of the car.
Oh, Lord.
So I'm like, no. I just go around. Right? And now I'm a little bit more on edge, right?
Because rightfully so.
Crazy person. But again, I'm thinking, okay, whatever. This is done.
Yeah.
I'm almost to where the GPS said the apartment was.
You're practically there.
I'm practically there. So I'm like, if I can just get inside or like something.
Yeah.
So the GPS is taking me all the way to the end, like the last unit on the one side. So I'm like, okay, I'm following this parking lot, and I'm noticing as we're getting closer and closer that there's no cars in the parking lot and that there's no lights on in any of these apartments. So I'm like, I don't think this is the right apartment.
That's a little odd.
Yeah, and I happened to drive by Nicole's car. Nicole's my girlfriend, and she was already there, so I knew that I was in the right area. Right?
Sure.
Again, this guy, he's still tailing me, so I'm like, okay, I'm coming up to the end of the lot. This clearly isn't where the apartment is.
Yeah.
So I think I'm just going to go around the outside of the building, loop around, and go back to the entrance, or like back towards the front of the complex.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that this was actually a dead end.
Oh, boy.
So I'm coming in, and this guy's still, again, right behind me.
Yeah, with this crazy guy, yeah.
So I just go to flip around, and by the time I turn around, this guy is parked and out of the car. So this guy, again, this all stems from me just going 15 miles an hour in the parking lot.
Yeah.
So this guy's out of the car, and I'm like, oh, buddy, this is not good.
Yeah.
Right? Again,
great.
Still on the phone with Costco.
Yeah.
So still, like, trying to be like, and this is at the point where Costco's like, well, sir, we can't do anything to help you. And I'm like,
so you're already riled up.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And then there's this guy outside the parking lot, and I'm like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So I just, I just decide I'm done with this. I go around him.
Yep.
And continue just go right out of the parking lot.
Yep.
Just right out of the complex.
Not bad.
And at this point, it should have been when I called the police. Did I call the police? No.
No.
Which is interesting because I've called the police for way less than this. So
oh gosh.
I called the police
little
for
dial
some.
happy there on the emergency line, aren't we?
I saw some suspicious people behind Walmart, and you know what? I'm concerned for the multi-billion-dollar corporation's well-being. You know what I mean?
Because they care so much about you in return, don't they?
Right. And so this is all going through my head while I'm exiting the parking lot.
Yeah.
Debating what I should do. And by the time I get out of the parking lot, I've hung up on the customer service representative of Costco because
man.
I was done with her and needed to focus on the more pressing issue at hand.
This guy in the parking lot.
Crazy man in the parking lot. And so at this point is when I call my uncle, who is in my cousin's apartment.
Yeah.
And I call all of them, and I'm like, hey, so you got this crazy dude that's living in this complex? And I need I'm feeling unsafe, Call me crazy. Or call this guy crazy. I don't know what you want to do.
Call everyone crazy.
Everybody's crazy, apparently, here. And so I drive around for a few minutes, maybe 3-4 minutes. I go around the block twice, I think.
Okay.
I'm like, all right, this guy, has to be inside by now.
Yeah. You would
But
think.
I'm talking to my uncle on the phone. I'm like, hey, you want to just come outside to make sure,
I get there safely?
There's no,
Funny business?
brouhaha happening outside.
Yeah,
and,
that's a good word choice, a little brouhaha.
No brouhaha is happening here.
Yeah,
and
no
so,
brews will be ha-ha'd.
No. Ha-ha.
Ha-ha,
ha-ha. So he comes out, and by that time then, I come back, and I'm driving back, and again, I see this guy standing. He had parked his car, and I'm driving back to the apartment. He's standing outside his car, looking at me. He's doing one of these numbers.
He's waiting for you. He's on the prowl.
Yeah. And so by the time then we figured out where guest parking was, because that was a whole issue.
Oh, yeah,
so
I can
we
imagine.
got parked finally, and by that time he had gone inside. So I'm like, okay.
Okay, yeah.
But the whole time then, I'm paranoid that this dude's going to come and, key my car or something.
Slash
so
your
I'm
tires.
just looking out the window
steal
the
your
whole time.
catalytic converter.
Something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know. Back in my day, they just keyed your car, but now they're stealing catalytic converters and, Mr. Fusion machines and all this stuff.
Yeah, you're going to walk out and your car's going to be on cinder blocks.
You know what? That was my fear. Honestly, I just look outside the window and the whole car would burst into flames.
I mean, that's a little extreme, but.
Well, so is this guy's reaction to, again, driving 15 miles in the parking lot. So
that's understandable. I can't fault you on that one.
Let this be a lesson, children.
Speed through parking lots. No.
Yes. Always go 50 miles an hour in the no, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Never get out of the car. That is rule number one, because I was very, very suspicious that something bad was going to happen.
Yeah,
had I gotten out.
I feel like when you're in that situation, the best thing to do is just keep driving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unlike if my dad was there, from the previous incident in the Raising Cane's parking lot.
That car is in park, and he is out of that car.
Yeah, I called him about it. He's like, "You want me to come and back you up?" I'm like, "Dad, I'm already halfway home. What are you talking about?"
No, Dad, no.
I don't think so.
That is not necessary.
Yeah, but he did go there over this past weekend.
Yeah.
I was there last Thursday. My dad was looking for him in the parking lot.
I bet he was.
Had he saw him,
yeah, that guy's gonna have
there
a bad
would have
day.
been some macaroni thrown down, my friend.
That's one way to put it.
Sure. So
that's one way to put it.
Needless to say, I was already fed up with my experience at Costco.
Yeah.
Don't get out of the car.
Don't get out of the car.
And also, don't talk to Costco on the phone, because they were not very helpful. So
that's a whole different story.
Well, I don't know. My experience with most places actually talking on the phone, like customer service people.
Yeah.
I feel like
They can be
have
decent
actually been pretty good.
at best. Yeah. That's something that I want to talk about. So we've both had a very interesting Costco service experience that maybe I don't know if we'll have time today to talk about it, but I've also recently had some good customer service experiences, and I think that good customer service needs to be highlighted. And it's not just all bad, because there are companies that know how to do good customer service. They just seem to be few and far between. So, I had a good story recently, about 2 months ago. I have a blender, okay? It's made by Ninja, people that make like the air fryers and stuff like that. They also make vacuums because they're Shark Ninja, or it's a Ninja Shark, like.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that they made
they're
the
owned
Shark
by the same
vacuum.
company. Yeah, I learned that recently. So
I heard they make an app too. Isn't it a fruit app?
Oh, that's Fruit Ninja. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's the same people. Yeah. So I've had this blender for just under a year at this point, because I'm a big smoothie guy in the morning. Okay, that's like my go-to morning food, if you want to call it that. I'm not a big breakfast guy, but I'll have a smoothie. It gets me going. Okay. So the one morning, load up all the stuff in a little thing to put in the blender, screw the top on, pop it on the blender, starts blending. Okay, it's going great. Suddenly the blender stops. Okay.
Oh no!
The blade stops spinning, like it's stuck, and it starts to make this weird noise, and it starts to smell.
Uh-oh.
I'm like, okay, something is wrong. So I stop the blender, and I take the thing off, and I look at the blender, and I pull the blender off of the counter, and there is this black, greasy material, liquidy stuff on the counter. So there is something wrong with this blender.
Ooh.
Right? Okay.
Ooh.
Like something's going on. So just for good measure, just to test things, trust but verify, had to verify this thing is broken. Turn it back on. Just see if it stops smelling or stop, like seeping out this weird yucky stuff. It's still happening. So I'm like, I need a new blender. So I was certain that they would see this under operator error and convince me that I overfilled the little thing that went on the blender, and that I went over the fill line or stuff like that. Okay.
Right.
So I give them a call on a Monday, and I explain my situation. I'm like, this thing's starting to smell. It's leaving grease on the counter. It's no bueno. And they look it up. They're like, oh, you're still within warranty. I'm like, that's fantastic, because I didn't even know how long the warranty was on this thing, because honestly, their website wasn't great for finding how long the warranty was. I think it was just a year, but I was still in warranty. And they say, yeah, we'll send you out a new one. I'm like, that's fantastic, okay? I call them on a Monday, and you know when that new blender shows up?
Tuesday?
Not quite, but Wednesday. I had a new one in 2 days, which I'm like, that's pretty good for getting a unit out, a new one. And they're like, yeah, with the old one, just cut the cord on it and throw it away. So that's how I got a new blender.
So you didn't have to send it back. That's awesome.
No, didn't have to send it back. They needed to verify that it was broken. They're like, yeah, we'll just send another one out. Because to them, the cost of just getting a new unit out is probably the same as needing to, go through the process of checking to make sure that it's broken and all that stuff.
Right.
So that was my good customer service experience. I was very happy there because I got a new blender. It was great. It worked out very, very well.
Yeah, see, I feel like you are not a crotchety old man like me and can be very patient. I mean, most of the time, I'm a pretty patient person, especially with a customer service person. You don't want to be like screaming and yelling at them because, number one, that's not going to help your case at all.
No, not at all.
And number two, most of the time, they can't do anything to help you anyway.
Exactly,
so,
yeah.
Like,
they can't fix whatever problem you have 9 times out of 10.
Right. That's why most of the time for most things, I end up calling, even if it was like for one of my parents, because can you imagine? I mean, my dad's,
boy,
blasting out of the car when there's, some words being exchanged. And imagine waiting on hold for an hour.
Don't put him on the phone. No.
No. You can't be on the phone with him. And this whole segment, I feel like, stems from our recent experience at the big box wholesaler.
Yeah, wholesaler. Wholesaler? Is that a word?
I don't know. I feel like that's like
close
a
enough.
person on a boat. It's not just a half sailor; it's a wholesaler. But this experience has been relatively interesting because
Yeah.
I had ordered something
Yeah.
from Costco.com.
Do we save this for the next episode? Do we tease it here and save it for the next episode?
Yeah, I think we might have to.
That's fine.
Okay.
I like it.
Well,
We can try
You'll
this.
have to
Tune in next week to hear the full story.
Yeah. With my and I feel like most people's experience at Costco is pretty good.
Well,
but
maybe by the next episode we'll have full resolution of this whole story because it's still considered not technically done where we're at now.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, we still haven't.
That makes me nervous.
Yes, the product that I wanted that I ordered by way of you, and I ended up ordering through
No. I ordered for my housekeeper in Pennsylvania.
That's right. That I eventually ordered somewhere else has not arrived yet. So maybe when that shows up and the whole Costco case is closed, we can talk about it on here.
And then hopefully someone from Costco corporate contacts me and would like to talk about my terrible experience.
Maybe they're one of our 50 followers on TikTok.
Maybe.
That would be very convenient.
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
We need some joy, I feel like, a little bit in this episode.
We do.
And
you know what brings me joy, Logan?
Joy? No, that was you're taking my line.
Gosh, maybe you took my line.
Okay, what brings you joy?
You know what brings me joy? Weird news.
Oh.
Okay.
You know what I was going to say? I was going to say dish soap brings me weird joy.
You know what else also brings me joy?
What's that?
Bowling.
Bowling.
That's where my story comes from. Okay.
Like ball down the lane.
Ball down the lane bowling.
You're spending some time at the alley, with the chewing some bubble gum and hitting the jukebox.
Yeah. So my place of business during the winter months does bowling every Wednesday. We had our last week of bowling last week. We stop working an hour early and we go bowl. Okay, it's a lot of fun.
I like that.
You're on a team of two. It's a lot of fun. You get to be paired up with some coworkers, and bowl. Okay, but you know what we've never done before?
Been good at bowling?
We have never bowled with no clothes on. But there is a group in Pittsburgh, some 2 hours where I'm from, that is hosting an event called Balls Out Bowling on April 28th. And I have heard about this event in the past, just seeing it pop up in news feeds, because it always gets news. But it is coming once up again in April 28th. It's hosted. Well, let me give you some more info. It's hosted by the Pittsburgh area naturalists, and nudity, they say, is required, except for women. They can wear bottoms. And you have to bring a towel and a bag for your belongings. You can get a ticket for $25. They say that it is the ultimate bowling experience for anyone who loves to have fun and show off their skills in the buff. It's open to anyone. The buff.
The buff.
The buff.
What the heck does that mean?
Just as God intended.
Oh.
And they say that it's open to bowling fans of all skill levels over the age of 18. And that it'll be a fun, safe, and fun bowling event. So that's my weird news story. I heard about this event in the past because it always attracts some press when it's announced. But I figured you would enjoy hearing about it because I imagine you're an avid bowler, and this would pique your interest.
Well, okay. So thoughts on that? Number one, I still bowl with the bumpers up. So
Lord,
any sort of bowling league, that's going to be way.
See, this isn't a league. This is just a one-time event.
Okay, but does it clarify if the bumpers are used?
It does not say anything about the bumpers.
Okay, well,
I think they expect any of the people that are there over the age of 18 not to require bumpers.
Okay, well, see, that's not going to work. I also I like the thing where you push the ball down the little ramp.
Oh, the ramps? Yeah, the bowling alley around here has ones that look like dinosaurs.
Oh yeah,
so you
that's the one by my.
You push it down the dinosaur's tail. Yeah, those are pretty legit.
Yeah, and
I do like those quite a bit.
I had a weird thing. I used to want to work in a bowling alley just to be in the back and see the pins, on the little machine. I feel like that.
I can believe that.
That's a weird, thought that I've had is know what?
You want
maybe
to be
I'm in the wrong
a pin
field.
setter, but
I wanted to be.
we don't need pin setters.
I just wanted to work at a 19th century bowling alley where you had humans actually putting out the pins.
That's a really dangerous job, though, too.
Working on those pin setter machines, yeah.
Yeah,
there's a pretty high rate of injury.
Yeah, your arms
with
or
those.
fingers can get squished. Yeah, no bueno. But now it's all automated, so we don't need to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
And you know what? Yeah, it would be actually way more fun than working at a bowling alley.
What?
Working at Legoland.
Yeah, I was a Lego kid growing up.
Were you?
Yeah. Oh, I was a big Lego kid growing up. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
I did not know that.
The Lego liking has reached adulthood. Mm-hmm. You really can't see it, but on my dining room table back there, I have a Lego bonsai tree as a centerpiece.
Oh.
And I have 1 second. Let me roll over quick.
Okay. For those of you on the audio-only version, Reed just left the frame.
I found a set at Target of 9 Lego mini succulent plants.
I'm sorry?
It's a mini plant. And you build the little vase that it sits in.
I like how you just knock on the vase.
Yeah, it's
You're
solid.
like,
yeah.
It's a solid
So
vase.
I found these at Target. So, wow, look at this focus on the camera. Sorry. So I found them at Target, and now they're scattered around my apartment as little decorations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Nicole was into the Lego flowers, and so because I have a moral opposition to actual flowers, but Lego flowers never die. So I have gotten.
They got a lot of good stuff. They've really I learned about this a couple years back. They've really catered a little bit more to their adult audience for sets like this, or the flowers and stuff, or they have their Lego for adults thing now, which is more complicated sets, which is really interesting.
Yeah, no, I appreciate all that Lego is doing for adults.
Yeah.
And also, in addition to just putting out sets, they're also Legoland has attempted a Guinness World Record by gathering 1,273 people in dinosaur costumes for a dance party of prehistoric proportions. Now, Reed, I know what you're saying.
Good.
Do not get too excited because this already happened. So I
just found this article. Yes.
Unfortunately, we already missed it. But
oh my gosh,
the dancing dinos gathered on Saturday. That was the theme park in Carlsbad. Carlsbad? I don't even know where that is. To attempt the Guinness World Record for the largest gathering of people dressed as dinosaurs. So if that's not right up my alley, I don't know what is.
That's pretty cool.
Dressed as dinosaurs.
Yeah, I
and
see
Legos
participating in something like that. Yeah, sign me up. I'd come along.
I mean, I was gonna say 12-year-old me. It was more like 17-year-old me. It's let's do that. That's awesome.
Dinosaurs. Yeah,
I love dinosaurs. Apparently, the current world record was only 252 people.
Oh.
And that was set back in 2019 in
L.A. They absolutely smashed the record then.
Yeah.
Wow, that's impressive.
But, that is interesting. I feel like, they absolutely smashed that record. And so that'll be something to look forward to, again, is more dino-themed gatherings of people at Legoland, because first of all, I've never been to the official Legoland in California.
I haven't either.
I like going to the Lego store and looking at the $700 Lego sets that I was
that you'll never buy.
Oh, I wish I could buy that.
They got some,
that kind of thing.
They got some.
It's
ones.
Doing some definite window shopping for sure. But
tell me about it.
I got into Legos for a little while there in high school, and so I have some pretty cool, nifty little Lego sets.
What was your favorite one you had?
Ooh, I really like the Technic ones, and I like the architecture ones. So I was really into both of those.
Are cool, yeah.
So I made this really cool plane that the propeller spun, the landing gear went down,
Okay.
the door, the loading door kind of went down too. But
Yeah,
I'd say that
okay.
was my favorite. I also made when I have cystic fibrosis and spent a lot of time in the hospital, and because of that, I met some people, some really cool people there who would get things donated like Lego sets, and I would build them to be on display in the hospital. So I got to make a
Oh,
couple really cool,
yeah.
some really cool models that are on display
Yeah.
at Larry Children's Hospital in Chicago. But so I got to make like a 3 foot tall Disney castle. That was probably the coolest set I've ever
That's
built. It
cool.
was like it's like a $600 set.
Yeah.
Obviously, I didn't get to keep it, but I got to
Got
build
to
it,
build
which
it,
was
yeah.
really awesome.
You know what we should do, Logan? This could be a fun future live stream.
Lego review, build Legos.
I'm getting there. If this podcast ever gets to the point where we make sustainable money for it, I think we should get a Lego Titanic. It costs $680.
Yeah,
There
that thing
are
is gigantic.
9,090 pieces, and it is the largest Lego set ever created.
Oh my!
It is 53 inches long. That's over 4 feet long.
Yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Thing is,
I've seen the pictures.
you build this thing. Where do you put it when you're done building it?
Well, I think if we built it, we'd have to sink it, right? We'd have
That's
to put it
true.
in the bathtub
Yeah,
and
and we
see
would
if
need
it
to sink
floats.
it. Yeah, yeah, that would be that may be a little too on the nose, but yeah, that would be a possibility. Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah. So,
But
hopefully, I mean, one day,
one
maybe
day
we can
we do
have a Lego live
building
stream.
That could be something fun. We each get a small set of our own that we could build within an hour, and we build it on a live stream.
Or we have a race to see who can build it first.
Then we need the same
because
set.
I love everything to be a competition.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
I don't know. All ideas that'll go into the think tank.
Yes.
I I love my think tank.
Oh, yeah.
But we are running out of time, so this has been Basement Birds episode number 2.
Yeah.
We're on all sorts of social media platforms.
Yes.
I'm going to quiz Reed and see if he knows what the new accounts are called.
Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Basement Birds.
At Basement Birds.
Yeah,
It's nice and easy this time.
Know a lot about a little pod. No pod here, pod there. No, it's just Basement Birds.
Pod everywhere.
Basement Birds.
Yeah.
Everyone knows how to spell
Like
it. They
2
don't get
peas in a pod.
confused. We're good. We're good.
Basement Birds. We got hopefully some more clips. We've got a couple
Yeah.
clips on, especially on TikTok. So be sure to check that out. We got the video version on Spotify and YouTube now, which is awesome. So you can see our beautiful faces while you listen to our magical, relaxing, beautiful voices. So thank you very much for listening. This has been episode number 2 of Basement Birds. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.